Good morning, happy Sunday. I have found a lozenge that is amazing. It's called the Fisherman's Friend. It's about the most powerful menthol lozenge you can imagine. It really opens up the nose, really soothes a sore throat. It's pretty amazing. And I don't think it has any negative or detrimental side effects. It's not habit forming, all that other fun stuff. I remember when I was little, my mom used to rub Vicks Vapor Rub on my chest when I'd have a cold. Always worked. I don't know why I got away from Vicks Vapor Rub. Maybe I'll pick some of that up. Had some lucid moments yesterday where I watched a couple of videos. What is it with gingers having no soul? The Constitution, the First Amendment. What does it say about recording? Well, if you look at the First Amendment, it's one compound sentence. Basically, it says that Congress shall make no law establishing or respecting the establishment of religion or abridging freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people to petition their government for redress of grievance or something like that. Something along those lines. Nowhere in there does it say record. Nowhere in there does it say anything about public buildings or areas accessible to the public. It doesn't say anything about public at all. Public spaces, I mean, you know. So where are these auditors getting the idea that the First Amendment covers photography? Well, I'll give you a hint. The courts have said that photography is speech. Ultimately, the way it came down is the court said that photographs and movies are speech. And then the court said, well, filming and photographing, the acts thereof are how you produce the speech, so they are basically speech themselves. And even if, unlike what Finbar Martin always tries to tell people, even if the court has held, one of the courts, it was an appellate court, I don't remember which circuit, but they were addressing. It was in one of the First Amendment auditor style cases. They're addressing, even if you didn't intend the speech, or even if you didn't intend the photograph to be shown to anybody or anything like that, you don't know what's in it until you develop it. You don't know what you captured until you look at it later. I mean, there might be a UFO in the corner that you didn't notice when you were taking the picture until you're looking at it later, and then you intend to distribute it, etc. So the court has to protect it because it may turn into speech later. So that's how photography, filming, became a First Amendment protected activity. And I'm bringing this up because there are a lot of cases. There's a lot of Supreme Court cases. There are a lot of lower court cases about speech in general and the First Amendment in general. But for some reason, auditors don't seem to want to apply to photography. They want to elevate it above even political speech for some reason. Political speech is probably one of the most suspect things for the government to try to regulate. And yet the government can regulate it. if the government can regulate political speech, oh, somebody found a stick. If government can regulate political speech, the government can regulate photography. So think about that. Think about that. When you hear an auditor say, do you know the First Amendment? Stop for a second and think to yourself, does that auditor know the First Amendment? Because I can almost guarantee you that if the auditor's ginger or eats too much dairy, probably doesn't understand the first thing about the First Amendment. Anytime you hear an auditor say the Supreme Court said, you can be relatively sure that that auditor has no idea what the hell they're talking about. So just remember that. If you're thinking about learning from these auditors, style, fine, learn from them, you know, figure out things that work, things that don't work from them, great. Law, no, they don't have any understanding. They don't have a clue. And the ones who do get a clue are branded bootlickers. So, I love politics. I really do. I find politics to be fascinating. Unlike Freeman, I understand them. Oh yeah, that brings up another point. One thing that I want to make clear on what I was saying about homeless is the homeless people, the ones who become homeless and stay homeless. The services that I think they should get are the necessary services, the ones that we as a society owe them because they are members of society. Mental health treatment, drug and alcohol addiction treatment, and basic skills training that maybe they didn't get in high school, although I still think we should probably bifurcate high schools into a education track, like a book learning track, and a skills track. Because like if you're going to become an electrician or a carpenter or something like that, I mean, you don't need to learn the finer points of English literature. You know, you need to learn the appropriate maths, Ohm's law, all that fun stuff. You don't need to, you know, you're not going to need trigonometry. Anyway, so those are the things that I recommend are the things that we as a society owe people. We've determined that we, as a society, we're going to give people these basic things. And that would be the training, because we determined that we would give it to them in school. I guess we really haven't as a society determined that we're going to give them mental health treatment, but we should, because they don't have really the option to do it for themselves. And the same thing with the drug and alcohol treatment. It's cheaper to do that than to throw them in jail. Beyond that, I don't think we should be, as a society, as a government, I don't think the government should be engaged in charity purposes. I think if society wants to give them stuff, then those members of society who feel charitable about it should feel free to. Church organizations, homeless outreach programs, things like that, that are Rotary clubs. If they want to do it, then that's where they should come in. That's my opinion. Your opinion may differ. The basic needs met for the homeless who aren't able to make it out themselves, and then anything charitable added on as willing donations from charitable organizations. But anyway, I'm pretty excited for November 6th. I hope everybody out there is voting. Unlike what retard James thinks your votes do matter. There's a lot of toss-up states with house races. A lot of toss-up house races out there. 2 point differences will make a big deal. You could change the course of history with your vote. And even if you think you can't, just remember that Trump was going to get beat by a landslide, but because his supporters went out and Hillary's really didn't. Well, there you go. So, can't wait to see what happens on election night. I know it's midterm. I know most people don't really care much. I still find them fascinating. My prediction, in case you're curious, even if you're not, here's my prediction. House is going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be a blue wave. I don't think it's going to be a red wave. My gut instinct is telling me that the Republicans are going to hang on by a fingernail in the House. And they're going to pick up 2 to 3 seats in the Senate. I know most pundits out there are thinking that the Republicans are going to lose the House. I'm just remembering the last election with Trump, where everybody and their dog knew that Trump was going to lose, and he still managed to pull it out. So anyway, that's all I really had for today. Oh, yeah, and tyrant alerts. Oh my God. The other ginger, the other soulless ginger. He finally managed to get the full video out of his little tyrant alert. I don't even remember seeing a portion of the video, but whatever. He's in Bowie, Texas. There's 2 officers who approach him. They play good cop, bad cop. It's standard good cop, bad cop. And they get him to spill all his details, or enough of his details that they can know that he's no longer an issue. Standard good cop, bad cop. I mean, it was textbook good cop, bad cop. Those are pretty. I like those flowers. They're pretty. I mean, if he wasn't so dumb, he wouldn't have fallen for it, but he wanted to, and so he did, because he's dumb. Hey, James, good cop, bad cop is another cop technique that is designed to get you to give them information and to keep you talking. They did it. They executed it flawlessly. This is why lawyers will always tell you, don't talk to the police, you dummy. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.